in the garage, running through eBay sales, and we'll chat a little bit about what has been going on eBay for me. I did do a video last Tuesday. I went live last Tuesday, but the signal out in the garage was absolutely shocking. Video quality was like running through a Game Boy camera, and sound was all over the place. So this is going to be a bit of a trial, see if the video quality is any better, see if the sound's any better. I am praying it is, because if it's not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to stop doing these lives. I quite enjoy doing them. But if I can't get the setup right, it's going to have to happen. Beastie Boy, first comment winner. Nice to see you there. Brian, number 2, my friend. Lee, how you getting on? Stefan, Brian looks decent. John, evening, good quality. Rach, how you getting on? Looking good so far. It's better already. Excellent, good sign. There was a few things that I think went wrong last week. I did try and go live, and for some reason it didn't work. So I then set up a new live stream. And I think what happened was I actually had 2 lives maybe on the go at the same time. Don't know. Could have been that. And also the weather. Because I'm out in the garage, I've got a wireless connection to inside. If the weather's a bit rough outside, could knock off the old connection. Dreams, how are you getting on? Nice to see you. Craig, nice to see you too. Jeremy, Ed's in, Lee's in. Olivia, good evening. First time watching live. Love your videos. Appreciate that, Olivia. I'll be honest, I haven't done too many lives. This is probably what, number 4, number 5, maybe number 6, something like that. So you haven't missed much, but I'm glad you're here as well. Now, what I usually do, Olivia, in the lives is run through things that I've been selling Monday and Tuesday, because what I usually do on the weekend, I cover those in a long format video, and I cover everything that is sold. I pack it all up on a Sunday evening and post it Monday. My next trip to the post office is tomorrow. So tonight I've got to pack everything that is sold Monday and Tuesday, because I don't go to the post office every day. But how has your sales been, guys? Anyway, Big Dunk, nice to see you nice to see you there. How have your sales been, guys? I have heard it's only a couple of weeks until Q4 officially, but my sales the past couple of weeks have been pretty good. It's almost like people are on the Christmas rush early. But then again, I've been listing things that are very sellable and very hot at the minute. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's just I'm listing better quality things. But let me show you the first thing that I sold, and it is a board game. I've been getting into board games recently. You can see that I've got a fair stack, balanced pretty precariously, but they are all listed on eBay, and I've sold that one there. Echelon. I'm just going to perch you up there a second while I reach that one. So this I picked up for £3. It's from 1989. Lots of small pieces in there, lots of cards in there. It took a little bit of time to count, but not too long. I think people overrate how much effort it actually takes to sell board games, and is in board games. Usually in the instructions it tells you what's there. So just have a bit of patience. Stick the radio on, relax, count some pieces, and pray they're all there. The thing is, you know what it's like with any old game from the late 90s or earlier, they kind of get that musty smell a little bit. So I priced it cheap. It's got that looks all right on it. Nice vibrant colors. The cards were looking a little bit worse for wear. Yeah, that smells. Just opening that box, I can smell that out there. All listed, all described. I wonder whether people actually buy it because they like that smell as well. Just that bit of authenticity, I don't know. Only sold for £13.50, but I listed that up on the weekend, so it's not taking too long to sell, has it? Sure, nice to see you, Elizabeth. How are you getting on? Rachel, gone quieter this week, but how brilliant. Is it a good time to list games and toys for Christmas or hold off? I would recommend getting them up now. Whether people are Christmas shopping at the minute yet, I don't know. But I mean, certainly people are thinking about it. For me, as soon as you get past Halloween and as soon as you get past bonfire night, that's when you start to think about Christmas. That's just my personal thing. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if things are starting to pick up. Particularly board games, very indoor thing, and a very, very autumny thing. So yeah, people are looking for stuff to do on the weekends with the kids as well. I think board games are coming back into fashion. Olivia, I've started selling lots of my old collections and stuff, so I'm not actually reselling yet, but I think I've got the bug for it and may open a store and take it seriously soon. That's exactly how I started, Olivia. Selling off bits of my old collection, but it was just selling off to cover the cost of the collection. It was never to make money. It was to collect for free, basically. And then I realized that actually there's a fair bit of money in a lot of this type of stuff. And then it just snowballed and snowballed. Be warned, if you take it seriously, you could get hooked. John, sales have been quiet, but build into Q4. Nice. Just keep patient, I think. Just got to keep it listing and just trust that it will pick up. Yes, Brian, I've watched Connor's video. I have. I'm in the group chat, Connor, as well, and I didn't come across in his. Well, I did a bit, but he was fuming. He couldn't get in that shop because he's had that card. He's been waiting for that card for a long time. For context, right? Connor pulled a really rare Pokemon card, the Umbreon from Prismatic Evolution, and if that grades a PSA 10, it sells for thousands, literally thousands. And he's sent his off, pack fresh, sent it off at the card show. And it has arrived back in a shop, but the shop was closed. Connor went up to pick it up, the shop was closed, so he can't get it. And we're dying to find out what grade. He won't tell us what grade it is. Mark, nice to see you. Reams has been having a nice run of sales. A lot of bread and butter. I'll take him though. Dav's in. Dav's, nice to see you. Quality has dropped after putting the phone down. Is there anyone here that does coaching and do a mini assessment on eBay Vintage Listings and give some advice for when I open a shop? I think the biggest advice, Olivia, is to not overthink it. eBay is a lot of people do overcomplicate it. The way I do it, have a look at sold listings, do sell similar, because in my head, if it's sold, then the listing that is sold must have been doing something right. Take some good pictures of all sides with good lighting and price it right. That's it. You know, you might get it wrong. You might get it wrong and it might sit around for ages, but you're not tied to it. You know, if it sits around for 3 months, just go in and adjust it. Just do it. Don't overthink it. Masbuel of London, happy to see you back. Was lucky to get a bag of quality Transformers and Gundam. Where'd you find those, bud? Charity shop? Boot sale? Always good to find that out in the wild. Elizabeth, full on selling because of me. I actually am full on buying. Don't blame me. I am taking no responsibility for your addictions. Project, he is live. I'm live. And I think quality is a bit better. Let me know if it does start to drop out or the video image goes bad or the sound goes bad. Let me know. Nice dream. Vintage down for long box. Always worth looking at. For how much are they selling for at the minute? The same as everything. Prices go up and down. 15 million, Rach. Been selling a little jumpers and coats. Selling plenty of potential Christmas presents. Excellent. Well, there we are then. There is hot off the press. Christmas is here. Get your Christmas things up. Certainly coats. Certainly jumpers. The autumnal stuff. I mean, we've had a lovely summer and it's been hot. And all it takes is the weather to change and people just feel cold. All games will rock it November, December. Agreed. Zippy's in. Eddie's in. I picked up a My Monster Buddy on Saturday after seeing your video. Sold it. Sold a good. Paid 7 good. Voice still works. Whew. Beautiful find. Ben's in. How long would you have a listing up before you think this isn't selling? It might as well go in a bag with a charity shop. 3 months, 90 days. And what I then do, and I've only started doing this recently, delist and then sell similar. And then I put the title through ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, make this a better title or whatever. adjust the price, lower the price, and then yeah, that's all you can do. And then after another 30 days, if it's not sold, donate it. AC's in, Market Man Mike is in. Yeah, I've gone pixelated. I think it's just going to be the way, guys. It will drop in and out pixelated. So yeah, it's just the way it is. I do, like I said at the very start, I do enjoy doing these lives, and it would be a shame to not continue doing them, but I can't think of a way to get any better Wi-Fi or signal out here. But it is nice to see you all here anyway. Some nice, nice quality, nice gentlemen and ladies in the chat. Pour yourself up a chair, pour yourself a drink. You're in fine company here. Let me show you what else is sold. I've sold 8 things, Monday and Tuesday, as well as that board game. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I had a mystery box from Matt the Tank. He was clearing out loads of his stock. It just felt bad. He didn't want to throw any of it out. Knew it was too good to donate, but was just overwhelmed with how much he had. So he sent me a few boxes. I tried to give him money for it, but he wouldn't take it either. But he gave me this. This is a Superman Returns bust, brand new in the box, although the box is a bit tatty. Is what it is, isn't it? Limited edition. That one there sold for £12.50. Pretty easy to pack as well, and you know that is a very boxy shape. So I'll stick that in a cardboard box. That'll be gone. £12.50. And while I'm over here, was that another £12.50 sale? Another £12.50. Like you hear a lot of sales for £12.50 for me. Usually that means I've listed it up for 15 quid. Someone will make an offer and I'll just counter and say £12.50. It's just nice round numbers. It's easy. And it's a system that I've just gotten into. Now, where have I kept these? I sold a pair of hair straighteners and it's in one of 3 boxes. It's at times like this where I wish I had a decent storage system. Well, no, I do have a decent storage system. I just haven't got anything numbered. And I don't have any sort of record of where I've stuck stuff. So I don't have a good storage system, do I? Yeah, I do. There it is, straight away. Now in here, this is where I keep like die-cast cars. Haven't got many for sale at the minute, so that's pretty empty. This box is actually very empty because I've sold the last bit in there. That needs filling up with more stock, doesn't it? Pair of Babyliss straighteners. These are really easy to research. They've got little model numbers on the inside there. Plug them in, make sure they turn on. And usually you can pick them up pretty cheap. So 2-3 quid, something like that. Sold for £12.50. Do you redo photos or use the same ones? I just use the same ones. I use the same photos. 15 beam booster. This, like, I am going through a booster. I've got my Wi-Fi booster in the kitchen, Wi-Fi link thing there. I can't do anything more apart from run a cable like all the way. FGR still going good. Played tonight. In fact, tonight it was the under 21s. It's a Mickey Mouse trophy, it is. And you play Premier League under 21 clubs. And there's a rule in it that all National League sides or the lower league sides have to play at least 4 first teamers or have 4 first teamers in the starting lineup. Robbie Savage put 4 first teamers in and subbed them all off within 1 minute of the game. So all the first teamers come off, all the youth come on. Avoided the club a £5,000 fine. We won the game 3-2. Hot Vimto on the go for this. Get them sales shown. Hot Vimto. Get yourself a nice stiff drink. Pull up those chairs. We need to raise the quality in the chat. Come on, guys. Here we go. Next sale. I've sold up there. See that werebear? I had 2 of these. I sold one yesterday. No, when was it? Sunday, over the weekend. I bought 2 werebears within 2 weeks for £1 each. And as I usually do, I was like, I bought that, it's cool, I remember it from my youth, I'm going to put it in the collection. And I had another moment the other day where I was like, this collection is getting crazy, it's getting stupid, it's getting out of hand again. So I've listed a few things up. I didn't want to, but here's what it is, isn't it? But that one there sold for 15 quid. This is a newer version. It should have batteries, it should have light up eyes, but the batteries have all gone. So that's obviously hampered the price. And because it is the newer one, like the old ones were out in the 80s. I think these were a reboot that were just in a supermarket. Still collectible. 15 quid. How much would a vintage Eusebio printing plate be worth? No idea what that is, I'll be honest. Stuart, no idea. I know Eusebio was a good footballer, but I don't know what a printing, I don't even know what that is. Is that to print some old sports cards or something like that? Very niche. Robbie Savage up to his old tricks. He is. I heard him on 5 Live as well the other day. He was rinsing Man United, and he's hoping that Forest Green get drawn against Man United because we'll beat him. It's probably not wrong, is it? Lee Chidwick, what is your best sale ever? My best sales have been sports cards or Pokemon cards. Individual sales, that is. I've got one of them to show you later as well. Like, the price of them is astronomical. It's crazy. It's crazy. But my best sales have been either sports cards or Pokemon cards. In particular, I sold a graded Lewis Hamilton card for £300. Henderson account, is great to finally be here. Nice to have you here too. What's working an absolute treat for me on eBay at present is that I have changed my auctions over to buy it now, and my sales have gone up and up. As long as you price them fairly, it's great. Good shout, that is, Jeremy. Whenever I used to just run auctions all the time, and I never used buy it now. And I did that just because I didn't have space to store anything. So what I bought, I had to sell it. I had to get it gone within like the week, so that the next week I went out, I'd have space to have stuff. But then when I moved house to here and I had the garage and I took over the garage as storage space, that's when I changed from auction to buy it now. I'm totally in control of the price then. And even if it stays around for a long time, I know that I will get a price that I'm happy with. The risk with auctions, you stick something up and someone bids and the bids just don't keep climbing. And there's nothing worse than feeling like something should have gone for more when it doesn't. And you get that sometimes, particularly with the really rare stuff, because like people just don't look for it. You know, they don't expect to find it. And it just takes that one person who really wants it to find it. It might not be that much competition for him. So if it was a buy it now, he would have paid, let's say 50 quid. But if you've started it on £5 auction, he's only getting it for £5 because there's just no other competition for him. What do you think are the latest trends in toys? I tend to go for 70s and 60s, but hard to find now. Toys, this is a funny thing, right? And I was thinking about this the other day. Whenever people say, oh, I sell toys or I sell vintage toys, you instantly think about old toys. And I'm thinking like Action Man, an original Barbie, or old teddy bears. But I think a lot of the toy sales, it's heavily linked to nostalgia. So 60s and 70s will have a nostalgia for people who are retirement age, and they're looking and they're leaving work in their mid to late 60s, and they've got loads of spare time. So what they then do is think, right, what hobbies can I get back into? And they think back and they were like, oh, I used to have a train set when I was younger. So they go out and try and build stuff that they had from their youth. And I think that there's a few milestones where nostalgia really hits. And I'm going through one now. You get one, I found I had a big hit of nostalgia when my kids were born. I I'm 40 this year, midlife, nostalgia creeps up on you again. Whenever you tend to get it as well, whenever you get like, if like one of your relatives dies or someone close to you, you know, you can find comfort in nostalgia. So there's different milestones, but what I'm getting at there is, you know, everybody will, it doesn't matter what year you focus on, that year will be nostalgic to someone. It's like someone is hitting their 60s right now, someone's hitting their 40s right now, someone's hitting their 20s right now. So it's just about keeping in with what was current at that time. So I focus a lot on the 90s and the late 80s because that's when I was a kid. So what I find nostalgic now, other people will be finding nostalgic right now. It's quite an easy thing for me to target, that is. But I think there's a lot of potential in not just toys as collector's item like that for nostalgic people, but also people need toys to use. So a lot of modern toys, I've been bundling up rescue bots because people want rescue bots to actually play with. Kids need toys to play with. So there's a market in modern toys as well. As long as you can get your head around all that plastic, as like the production quality now on most toys isn't what it was with the older ones. It's just what you're into. I probably didn't answer your question. I went on a bit of a tangent then, but yeah, that's just what I think. How much money do most people invest into stock at any one time? Is there a limit where you think, okay, got to sell some stuff before I buy more? For me personally, I like to keep cash positive. I guess I'm in a different position because I do this as a hobby. So I'm not reliant on drawing money out of this business to live. I don't need to make a certain amount of money for bills or food or whatever. Everything here is just extra, but I like it to pay for itself. I don't like to dip into my own pocket to top it up. So that's when I know I need to start buying, if I'm getting close to that line. But being completely honest with you, that is another reason why I do YouTube. YouTube is a regular, let's say £300 to £400 income, middle of the month, straight cash or profit. And that keeps me cash positive. Are you sourcing with Q4 in mind now, or are you just normally sourcing? Normally sourcing, Rach. I'm just normally sourcing. I think the things that I usually source anyway are kind of suited to Q4. Toys, board games. But obviously what I'm finding now is more Christmas stuff out on the shelves. So I might pick up a few Christmas decorations. I've seen a few snow globes that have caught my eye. In fact, that leads on to another sale. And I picked up a couple of Halloween costumes, brand new in the bag. This was in the charity shop last Wednesday. I picked two of these Joker outfits up for £3.50 each. This is the second one to sell. Both of them went for £15 each. It's Halloween season, isn't it? So perfect example. Keep an eye out for fancy dress costumes. People are buying them, particularly if they're brand new. I think this was an Amazon return. And yeah, they had a couple in the charity shop, bought them both up, listed one of them, quantity 2. They've both sold. Mega quick. Cool way to help resell eBay listing titles. Let's build a simple AI that tweaks titles and better search results. Throws in UK friendly keywords. That's what I do, Ben, but I use ChatGPT, and ChatGPT fires out some great suggestions. Darth, how are you? Pleased to catch you live. How are you? I am good. I'm good. I've had a busy day at work today. So I got back home at about 6. Kids are in bed. I've had tea. Out in the garage. Tuesday night, garage sessions. Picking orders. I got to pack them tonight to post them in the post office tomorrow. Charity shopping tomorrow. So we'll see what we find there. I'm feeling confident because I've got a feeling a lot of people had to clear out this weekend because the weather was so bad. So it's a perfect excuse to get in and tidy some bits up, isn't it? Right, next sale. I've got a board game. I know where it is too. Do you think the interest for Star Wars toys at lows now? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. I think Star Wars toys, particularly the older ones, they'll always have an audience. Modern toys, I don't know so much about. The Star Wars, I've never really been into Star Wars, but it's got such a cult following that you'll always get collectors. And that is a good point, actually. You made me think about that. It's talking about the relevance of toys. And I wonder, I've got a lot of Transformers up in the loft. I wonder how relevant they're going to be in the future. And because of that, how much they're going to depreciate in value. Now, I think if they are still in the mainstream, if films keep coming out, if computer games keep coming out, if comics keep coming out about them, that keeps their relevance alive. The bit that I worry about is when that stuff stops. So Star Wars, for example, it's everywhere. There's still films being made. It's still very much at the front of people's minds. It's in people's faces. When you look at some of the older toys, I've got some up here for that I haven't listed yet. I got Ghostbusters. I mean, yeah, there's the old film that comes out, but does it really have the same appeal? Biker Mice from Mars, like, does that even exist anymore? Is that even a thing anymore? So that is going to have a certain audience that over time just won't be there. You know, the younger generation is not going to get excited for Biker Mice from Mars, are they? You know, it's the older generation. Sean, 100% agree about the vintage toys. Whenever I look around the charity shops for the missus, I always think about the action figures and stuff from my youth, like Turtles. Exactly. And it's because you put value on that, because you remember them so fondly. So when you see them, they jump out at you. You've got that visual recognition for it. But there'll be people doing that with lots of different things. Loads of different things. So there'll be people that will go around and have that with certain bits of crockery or certain bits of china. They'll go around and it'll jump out because their nan used to have it on the fireplace. Things like that. Everyone is different. And I think you should kind of embrace that. If you get that urge and you think, oh, I've seen that before, go and look it up. Just be curious about it. Lee, his best sale was when I bought a Disney Cars Mr. Drippy water truck. Toy for 50p, sold for 40 quid. Amazing. Did you get that out of just a random 50p box as well? There are some gems. There are gems out there. If you've got the patience to look through them, there are gems out there. I found there's a charity shop by me that just bungs toy cars in a box. Doesn't care what cars they are, they go in a box. And some of the old dinky cars you find in there, you know, it's never 50p to 40 quid, but it's 50p to 15 because people buy them to paint them up and people buy them to like restore. Yeah, I love selling toys like that as well because it's such a low risk investment. You're spending 50p. So if it's not worth anything or it doesn't sell, you lost 50p. It's not as if you've invested 15 quid to try and make 40 or 50 quid. You know, that would sting a bit if that one didn't sell. And Neil's okay. Have you ever considered reselling full time? It's always something that I look into, but it's never something I've followed through or considered seriously, I'd say. The reason I say that is I've got a good full-time job. I've worked hard to get where I am in that full-time job, and it brings me a good salary. I've worked hard for that salary, and I work 4 days a week, 7.5-hour days, most of that from home as well. So it's not a particularly big time sink, and it brings me a lot of fulfillment. I was going to say enjoyment, but I don't think anyone really enjoys, if you're being honest. No one enjoys their job. It's a job. No one enjoys it. A job might bring you fulfillment, so a sense of achievement and a sense of satisfaction. You go home and you think, look, I've achieved something today. I've done something worthwhile today. And I get that with my job. And I think that's all you can ask for a job. Now, I've used that job and that salary and I've built this life on that. And it brings stability. And there's nothing wrong with being stable either. You know, it's not all about being entrepreneurial, this, Gary V, that. There's nothing wrong with stability. And I don't want to give that up. I've got too much responsibility to give that up at the minute anyway. Now, what I have found is through reselling, I've reached a point where I've dropped down my 1 day in work and I make enough money on eBay and YouTube combined to be equivalent to my daily salary. So what I mean by that, I make enough money in my day off, eBay and YouTube profit, as if I was working in my full-time job. That's 1 day. And I work hard for that 1 day. And I fear that I just couldn't, if I was to bin off my full-time job and do it 5 days a week, I wouldn't be able to scale it up and repeat what I'm doing on here 5 times. I just couldn't. So because I get that fulfillment from my job, why would I give that up? Why would I give that money up? A lot of people say freedom, you know, you get it because you're your own boss. But I know in my own head that if I did this full time, I would treat this like a job. I'd be working out here from 8 in the morning and I probably wouldn't switch off till, well, I'd switch off at 5 o'clock, have some tea, and I'd probably be out here doing it in the evening. So my working hours would be a lot more. I would be my own boss, yes, but I would be eBay would be my boss. I mean, that's just the self-employed world as well. You wouldn't get a pension, wouldn't get healthcare, wouldn't get holidays. It's people see success in reselling and measure it in different ways. And for me, having enjoyment, I get enjoyment out of this. This is completely different from everything I do. And because of that, it's my own thing and I can enjoy it knowing that it is stress-free and I can escape doing this. If I become reliant on this for money, then I would lose that big part of what reselling really means to me. Let me pick that board game for you. I was just scrolling down a few things. Let me pick that board game. This was a weird one. Rummy Royal is what it's called. And I say it's weird because it comes in a box. But really all it is a set of cards, playing cards, and a set of poker chips with a printed paper base. And someone stuck that in a box and then is selling that as a game. Yeah, it's got its own rules and that, but there's no like special pieces in it. That is it. I can't oversell it anymore, and that's over 12 quid. These are really popular in America. I mean, if this was being sold in America, it goes for 30 quid. But I guess it's a big game over there. Better do that. Hang on. I'm putting that down in case it falls out. I don't want to be counting little poker chips. But that went for 12 quid. Market Man Mike, caught one of your videos. You said charity shops don't put out toys that are not CE marked. Never heard of that myself until today when a shop worker mentioned it. Not good for vintage toys. And I don't blame the charity shops for that either. The charity shops' hands are tied. You know, they have to have safety and health and safety precautions in place, no matter how frustrating that might be or how non-common sense, that's not a word, like it is. But if someone bought a toy with no CE mark and someone was hurt with it, they would have, I guess, some form or way of suing. It's the legal world as well, isn't it? You know, you can't blame the charity shop. Why would they take the risk for a 50p toy? I've seen some charity shops put toys out, old toys out, and put stickers on them saying this is not a toy. It is a toy. It is. You're doing that because it hasn't got a CE mark. But it's a sad state because you're right. I think of all those old toys that are just that could have so much use and bring so much joy to people, kids, adults, whoever. Binned. What a waste. I tend to find that the older games don't tend to sell as well as the newer stuff. Interesting. Plunks are dead, sir, whatever age. I think you just got to be very selective. I find a lot of the old MB style games with the white box with the iconic MB logo from the 90s, sell well, as in Downfall's a good example. What's that, 15 quid game, 20 quid game, something like that? Or if you could buy the new box, it's a 12 quid game. People pay a markup for it. Yeah, I found that. Monopoly, the old Monopolies always do well. Katie Kaboom, nice to see you. Channel is awesome and your videos are entertaining. Katie, if you're still on the chat, where are you actually from? Are you coming from Canada? Are you messaging there from Canada? Have you decided what to do with that Warhammer yet? Maybe I'm onto a score from my local chat. Oh, nice. Who have asked for help ideating Lord of the Rings stuff and don't mind selling it to me. Oh, Darth. If you're not into Warhammer and you don't do Warhammer and you get that Lord of the Rings set, drop me a message because I might be interested to buy it. Because of course I have succumbed to Warhammer now. I have. I picked up a big, if you haven't seen my last video, picked up a big box load of it off of Facebook Marketplace. Value about £250 on eBay, after fees, after post, and I got it for 180. But Warhammer is mega liquid. You list it up and it sells like that really, really quick. And I bought it with that intent. But like some of the models were already part complete. And I was like, well, if some of them are part complete, I might as well glue the rest of them together. And I've gone and bought a load of paints, haven't I? I went down, there's a shop in Cardiff, went down Saturday called Firestorm Games. I've got primers, I've got base paints, I've got washes, I got brushes, I got glue, I got like the clippers. Man, I got a full shebang. I'm right like back into it. I was gluing orcs last night, listening to Talk Sport till midnight. So I am in, I'm back in. I am, and I'm not ashamed to say that as well. I'm back in. Some of that stuff I bought the other day I will sell. Like some of the brand new stuff, I can't just crack that open. It's worth too much. And it's like going back to the start of the live where we was on about how we got into it and collecting. I can sell some of the sealed stuff to cover the cost of the stuff I'm keeping. So I'm enjoying this for free. But I'm back into it. And it's such a time sink. I know it is. It's a time sink. That is going to be the biggest hindrance to my eBay performance in Q4. Like how much Warhammer takes over my life. But I'm into that Lord of the Rings stuff. I used to have like the Metal Fellowship Lord of the Rings. I used to have the Balrog Dragon. I used to have Gandalf, all painted. I painted all them up and I had them on display and I sold them. I sold them to some bloke in France actually. I always watch your channel and you're very good at your game. Cheers, brother. Access Area 6. So I had to go in then to have a look at that. Cheers. Project Games loves biking my... Oh, mate, am I that far back in the comments? Found a visual Yoda and Jawa 50p. I bet they're worth a bomb. Oh, Pokerfire 87. Right, I got a good question for you. I found a complete Pokemon base set at the car boot sale yesterday. They only wanted 5 quid. It was a kid selling it. It was a kid selling it. So how was the... I'd be asking a few questions here. How was the kid come into a complete old school base set? Is it his parents' old ones that have been passed down to him? And he's selling that for a £5. How did you offer him any more? Or did you give him the £5? Because you know that Charizard's selling for 150 raw. Yeah, how did that all play out? Let me know. Interested. Let Loose Toys is here. Hope all is well, my dude. Hope I haven't missed any goodies. Well, I've showed you a few sales tonight. Mainly £15-ish value sales. But I got a couple of big ones next to show you. Sean's in. What do I think about PC games? To sell, I don't tend to touch them because they've got the codes on, they got the keys, haven't they? And if they've been used, I don't think you can even play the games anymore. Dreams, toy sections around my way, very bare for toys. Yeah. Yep, they are bare. And it's because they're not space efficient. You know, if you think how many clothes or something you could fit into the same area as one beefy, big, what they call Imaginext castle, which you see in near enough every charity shop. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But they've got to cater for lots of clientele. Like, the only reason I went into the charity shop, the very first time I went in there, was just to take my son in there when he was little and just have a look at the toys. If they didn't have a toy section there, I would never have gone in a charity shop. I would never been doing this. Showing the enjoyment you get from finding the toys and cool stuff. Showing a video, yeah. Love the videos and learn so much of them. Enjoy because you're enjoyment. Well, I do. And because this is my hobby and I do it for that enjoyment. And as soon as this ever become a money thing, and I needed money, this would go. YouTube would go, eBay would go, and I would take that extra day back in my work. I would do that. If this ever become, and I had to do this for money, I wouldn't do it for money. Darth, I am. It's painting a venerable, dreadnought now. Yeah, give me a shout for that Lord of the Rings stuff. I never played the Lord of the Rings Warhammer game, but the miniatures were class. Very, very, well, I like Lord of the Rings anyway, and they look like the film characters. Love Firestorm. Used to have my Christmas breakfast with my workmates there. Nice. What, in Firestorm games? I tell you what, they got a good selection of drinks in there, good selection of beers. Warhammer and legs are big right now. What do you mean legs? Lego. Oh, there we are. Lego. Yeah. Warhammer is massive. And again, I can't get over the price of it, considering all it is just mass-produced pressed plastic molds. It's cheap for them to make. All they do is stick it in a box and they're charging a fortune for it, and it goes up and up and up. It's quite a clever business model they've got and a very loyal fan base. But it's an expensive hobby to get into. Pokerfire 87, a tenner. I didn't ask any questions. I mean, to be fair, you obviously know what you're on about, I guess, judging by your name. So you were able to identify whether they were fake or rare or fake or real, you know. The amount of fake cards you see out and about, you know, and people charging crazy money, like as if they were the real, genuine things. You gotta have that knowledge, and I guess, you know, you're using that knowledge to your advantage. Mike's bought a bag of Warhammer books and cards a few months back, still sat in the garage. All right, it's something you just got to throw yourself into. You got to get into it, Mike. Get your head into it and just set yourself some time and just learn about it. And then it stays in there. Oh, it does for me. And then when you see it out again, you know, you'll spark something. You just got to take that time and do it. Dreams. Big box PCs can go for silly money, some titles. I reckon that's just a nostalgic thing. The big box PC games display really well on a bookcase, don't they? No one's buying well, they probably aren't. People aren't buying the old traditional things to display. You know, remember, like, if you go around your nan's house or your mum's house or whatever, there's still like the old ornaments out in the cupboards and on display. No one our age or younger is displaying crockery or pottery or anything anymore. It's all pop culture stuff. People will be displaying, you know, computer games, cards, PC games, box games, you know, because it's relevant to us and it's what we like to see around the home. You know, I find that quite fascinating, actually. Any tips on authenticating football tops, mate? Found the Newcastle Pro top today. Looks good, but not sure. Go careful with it, Leon, is all I'd say, because I bought a Man United top the other day and it looked good. It looked really good, but it is fake. It is fake. There's some codes you can type in on the labels. I think it's not like the old ones where you could just have a look at the label and the label looks all right, and so yeah, you can buy it. The new ones and the new fakes for the new tops are very good. Let Loose Toys, coolio. Banana Nancy used to get me loads of Warhammer at Christmas, painted them up, but never played and wish I still had them. I do still buy all the paints and stuff for custom toys. Oh, I've seen some of your toys. Let loose. Did you do the figure for Ricky? Was that you? Yeah, I only saw that on Instagram recently, and man, that was good. And then I got into a wormhole of looking at all your Instagram, and yeah, those customizations are amazing. But painting, I like painting. It's very therapeutic. It's good to just get into it, and you can just you can lose hours doing it. Sales and trails, YouTube and eBay is my hobby. Make sure I have time to spend with my family and friends, make videos with them. We sound very, very similar. And that's why, again, just to reiterate about doing the full-time job thing, I know that, particularly if I'm working from home, you know, 7.5 hours, that is all I have to commit to that. And then it's gone. The morning and the evening is my time. And the kids are in school anyway during the week. So if I wasn't working, like what else am I doing? Yeah, sounds like you got it right. Elizabeth, very nice to people and not greedy. That's important as a reseller. I think the personal interaction you have with anybody is important, you know. You never know, particularly, it depends the location, doesn't it? If you're in a charity shop or a boot sale, the likelihood is those people you will see again, particularly the staff workers or some of the regular car boot sellers. You know, just being polite to them, just being an honest person with them. I think it does go a long way. I mean, the greedy thing, I mean, dude, let's not forget we're all out here trying to do the same thing, trying to make money doing it. So in a way, you know, you're always upcharging people, or you're not giving them the true worth, the value. That's just the nature of the game, isn't it? It's just the nature of the game. Panzer's in, nice to see you. Lost Laser Droid, your Warhammer investment should be a good one. It's a good one if I keep it all in the box and don't do it. If I open it up, stick it all together and paint it, it's not going to be world-class painting. It's going to knock the value off of it. But how much, you know, how much do you pay for fun? You know, 180 quid I bought that box for, and that could do me hours and hours and hours of enjoyment from it. Marco Bolo, evening to you. Bit late to the party, don't worry, I'll probably be on here for another 10 minutes. Pull yourself up a chair, grab a drink. You're in fine company with others in the chat. The best find I never bought was a box of sealed N64 games. It was about 15 years ago, and I didn't act quickly, and someone else got them and sped off. Went very cheap, as I think it was house clearance. Poker Fire. I bet you that Pokemon card bundle you picked up for a tenner, it was better than that. I mean, it wouldn't be far off. But that's an interesting thing, and isn't hindsight brilliant? Because if you go around the boot sales now and you see all the Nintendo Wii games or the Xbox 360 games, 50p, pound, everyone's leaving them. In 20 years' time, we'll be saying, oh, remember all those Xbox games and Wii games that were around for 50p? And we never got them. It's funny how it works. And the sales and trails, nice. eBay and Vinted for me is extra cash to take my daughter places without using my 9-to-5 job money. I need to find a new purpose for my money. And I need to find a new purpose for... Well, yeah, there is the enjoyment fine. I don't need to find a purpose for reselling on YouTube, because the enjoyment is a good a purpose as anything there is. But I need to have that extra motivation to try and make more money. I need to find a use for that money. And then if I do that, I know I will drive myself to list more and sell more, and I will make more. Rather than just think, well, you know what, I don't really need to make any more money. Let's just have the evening off. So yeah, finding a reason for why you do reselling is important. Let loose toys. That was you, mate. That figure you made of Ricky was immense. Absolutely immense. hey, this is a good one. And I messaged Project Games actually about this earlier. Get them paints out and do a vid of some of the things you paint. Would love to see it. I've been binge watching painting videos, and it's literally whether 10 minutes or 40 minutes. The views on them, people, they're so therapeutic to watch people paint like nicely painted miniatures or whatever. And they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. They would be racking up some money off those videos. Wii U is going to be most collected in the future. Rich, nice to see you in here, mate. I've got one up there. I found that at that yard trail I did. I sold off, no, I didn't sell the games. I've sold 2 games on eBay. I traded in the rest of the games to CEX for 70. So that's my money back. Profit in the games. What do I do with that? Do I keep it? No, I'm not going to keep it. Well, do I keep it? Let me know. What should I do with it? I might just sell it. Right, I just want to show you guys 2 more sales. 2 more sales. And I've got them in my little pouch down here. I want to get the right one out first. You know, I've been selling, or I sent a few cards off to grading. Football cards and stickers to MGC. I've sold another one. David Beckham, football sticker. Shiny one. This one is from 2003. So it's a late David Beckham one. I love the backs on them, look. Nostalgic. MGC grade 9. See that through there? That went for 25 quid. Not the biggest. These stickers I was picking up for £1, £2 off of eBay, and it's cost £7 to grade. So that one owes me 7, 8, 9 quid. Sold for 25. I've doubled my money, but I sent 50 off. So if I can double my money, if I can make a tenner, that's 500 quid profit for selling £1 stickers, taking a gamble on a £1 sticker, sending it off. It only got a 9. If I got a 10, I'd be selling it for more. If I got an 8, I'd be selling it for less. That's all part of the gamble. But I like it. It's a little low risk income stream. I think there's a lot of potential in it. In fact, I have just sent off another 50 cards to MGC. Women's football. Lots of England players, lots of Spanish players, stickers, cards, numbered cards, autograph cards. Because I think that's growing. The traction behind women's football is up and up. It's growing all the time. So I might hold on to some of them for the next major tournament in a couple of years' time. Or I might sell them now and then just buy the stickers back again for a couple of quid and do the same process. Rinse and repeat. Why don't you start a Pokefire? Why don't you start a challenge to raise money for charity? I get you. I get it. That would be a good purpose for the money. It would. But I donate. We all do when we go to charity shops, and we spend thousands in charity shops per year. All of us give a lot of money to charity, even though our motives are to make money from those items. We all give thousands to charity, more than 99% of people, the public. You know, we give a lot to charity. And end of the day, yes, it's a hobby. Yes, I get enjoyment from it, but I still, in my head, need to get some sort of monetary benefit from it, because I've dropped that day down from my working week. If I was just doing this at the weekends, like, that'd be very different. But because I'm sacrificing a day's worth of salary to do it, I feel like I at least have to have something to show monetary wise for it. But yeah. Richard, buy everything now while cheap. Start a collection of Wii U games and keep a box console. I don't know. It's another collection though, isn't it? And you don't see Wii U games out and about. You just don't see them. That would be a CEX job. And even then, they don't get, you can't go into a CEX and they've got a whole shelf of Wii U. They might have 10 games in there or something like that. It's a hard console to collect for, I think. I use my extra money to help towards building an extension on our bungalow for my 2 kids. Been hooked since reselling and watching everyone. Nice, Ben. Nice. Do you watch it for enjoyment or do you watch it for the learning? Or both? And well done. God, it's a big job doing a house extension. And if you could raise a lot of money through this, fair play to you. Right, one more sale to show you. And it's a big sale. It would be one of my top 5 sales. In fact, over the weekend, I listed up some Pokemon cards and I sold a Pikachu card, which I pulled from a pack for £200. I covered that in my long format video. It's a sought after card. It's one of the chase cards from the modern era. £200 that one went for. But I sent a load of cards, Pokemon cards, over to PSA in America for grading, and they come back. And this was one of them. This was from 2019. It's called Armored Mewtwo. I'll spin you around so you can get a closer look. Now there's a fair few of these up on eBay, but a lot of them have Japanese writing or Chinese writing there. Firstly, to find a English card is quite hard. Going rate for that card without graded is about 70 quid, 60 to 70 quid. This one come back as an 8, and that's not a bad grade, because if you can see all the shine, all that purple and all the holographics behind, that's all shiny, and that scratches really easily. Looks pretty well centered, doesn't it? There's a few little bits of silver coming through. You can just see on that edge there, bit of silver. All in all, 8. I listed that up on eBay for £225. The last one, a PSA 8, sold for 150. I thought, you know what, that was a while back. These don't come up very often. I think they might have undersold that. Offer come in, 205. Global shipping program over to America. Do I counter? It's only been up a few days. I accepted it. Like, I'm getting the bulk of the money, aren't I? You know, if I counted it and he declines, when's the next offer coming? The last sold was 150 quid. I beat that last sold by 50 quid. 200. What did I say, 200 or 205? Either way, it was around 200. I'll check on my laptop now. But to have the Pikachu card sell on the weekend for 200, that went for 205, £405 in 2 Pokemon cards in the space of 3 or 4 days. Obscene amounts of money in Pokemon cards. Very hard market to crack because everyone's doing it. Very hard to find the cards cheap unless you get very lucky buying the packs and you pull the good cards. But the pull rates are really poor and low. And then to get the big money, you need to get the good grades. So even if you do find the chase card in there, it's got to be well centered. It can't be damaged. That's how you get the big money. And I'm hoping that Connor with his Umbreon gets a really nice PSA grade. Where I was going to go with this as well is the size of my eBay operation and YouTube operation is, I make, I make about 500 quid profit. I make just a bit more than that. Let's say like 500 quid profit per month. Those 2 cards there have just inflated the performance of my eBay store. So actually, if I look at a September, we all talk about Q4's coming. It's going to be a big Q4. We're going to sell loads. Well, my Q4 numbers are going to be massively inflated compared to the previous years, just off the back of those 2 sales. So it's not a true representation of how well my eBay business is doing or how well my setup is. The true measure of that, and we've talked about it earlier in the chat, is those bread and butter sales. How many of these have sold? How many of the £1 turning into £15, the £3 going into £20? How many of those have sold? That is the true measure of success for my eBay business. How much of the general bread and butter is selling? And at the minute, as a baseline, I'm probably selling about 50 quid's worth, not profit, 50 quid's worth of sales per day. And that's okay. It's okay. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. And it's a good baseline. And what I'm topping that up with are those individual big hitting sales. That brings and elevates things up. And that gives you gives me the real profit. This is my operating cost or my operating base. 30 quid a day profit. Those give me the big play around numbers. But what I'll end up doing with that money is investing it in something else. I'll go and buy a few more cards and send a few more cards off to PSA or to MGC. So that money, I won't see that as profit. I'll put that back and I'll go out and I'll buy a load more graded cards with it and try and do it again and just trying to keep growing with it. But that's what is good to have those big sales. It gives you that buffer to do that. And we talked about how much money you put into doing eBay. Well, for me, again, it's about being that cash positive and keeping cash positive. So having the big sales and that injection of cash like that does mean I can then go out and take a few gambles on stuff that I might not usually do. Knowing that this stuff here, the core of my business, will keep it all ticking over. Yeah, Sean, nice Mewtwo. I like it. I like that one. CEX sells PC games, Ian. I received my order today. Oh yeah, nice one, Sean. Was that Berghaus? I saw that you left some eBay feedback and with a nice picture. Oh mate, I'm glad. I'm glad because on the same day as that, I sold a pair of Rohan jeans to someone and they have opened a return case on them because they say that they don't fit. I never get returns on anything like toys, board games. Very rare, very rare. Clothes though, and it's not because I'm not listening properly. I put all the measurements in the pictures. I do that. No one looks at that though, do they? No one reads the description, do they? They buy it, get it. Oh, it doesn't fit, mate. I'll return it. So those jeans, I spent £4 on them. I sold them for £17.50. So I've spent £3.50 to get it to them. No doubt they'll find a way of returning them to me at my cost. They'll find one of the little eBay drop-down boxes that will say, not as described, item is incorrect, length per description, or whatever. They'll find a way. And I know what I'll do. I'll get them back. I'm not going to bother phoning up eBay or trying to get that money back through them. Because what eBay will say is, you need to now negotiate with the buyer a partial refund. Well, they're not going to, oh my God. They're not going to want to do that. Look, if you don't like spiders, just don't look, just look away quick. From there, that whopping spider on my boy's bike, look, he's just crawling under there, has come down from the ceiling. That was horrible. Yeah, so I don't like selling clothes. And I won't ever sell clothes. I know, well, I will, but I won't make that a main thing. And I know a lot of people run their business entirely on clothes. I'd be interested to know what the return rate is on that. I really would. Yeah, not for me. CEX now takes graded cards, apparently. I've seen that as well. And again, I'll be interested to see how that works, because I imagine they need to individually appraise each one. There's no way they can keep a database of every graded card on their system and keep that accurately priced as well. I can't see many people taking cards in. I can see people taking in computer games and stuff and using store credit to buy cards, but I'd be surprised if people take them in. Maybe I could do that, actually. I could do it as a little test. I could take in a couple of graded cards and see what price they give me. Won't be much knowing CEX. Pokemon market is booming at the moment. It is, because next year as well, there's a milestone. Is it 30th anniversary? And I'm tempted to cash in my Pokemon cards then. It is impossible, PokeFire, to find deals on Pokemon. It is. Particularly, you can't even buy them brand new in aftershops anymore. CEX also take complete Warhammer sets. Yeah, they also sell cheaper. They do. Keep that. Don't tell everyone, but they do. And it's what I'm going to be using my CEX vouchers for, I think, in the future. And that will be boxed Warhammer, because they sell it cheap. So you can stick it on eBay and you can get your money back. good way to turn those vouchers into cash. My clothing return rate is 5.25% AC global. So every 100 items you sell, you're getting 5 back. Jesus. I mean, is that bad? Is that bad? I mean, that's a lot more than I get doing toys. I'll tell you that. I might be on 1%. That feels like a lot. But then, like, is it? And I'd be interested in, does it differ between men's clothing and women's clothing? Nice. Wait, just seen the clock at the top. Been on here for an hour. Right. I've shown you all the stuff that I sold. Lots of we call it, I don't like the words bread and butter. It doesn't put enough emphasis or importance on those items. But I've sold a few bread and butter items and some higher value one-off items as well. Next thing is on Sunday. No, it's not. Next thing, I'm out tomorrow in the charity shops. So I'll go around and see what I can find, hopefully to sell some more stuff on eBay as well. So keep an eye out for that video. But this Sunday, I am also on Nick Hill's live. Nick and Andrea. They want to know a bit more about my story. They want to know how I got into this, how eBay fits into what I do and YouTube fits into what I do. It should be an interesting chat, and I don't want to just do the usual. This is what I do. This is how I did it. I've been doing this for ages. I want to explore a few. They won't be uncomfortable topics, but I want to. As you know, I'm open and honest with what I earn on eBay and YouTube and how important both of them are together. And they're running at the minute 50% of my income is split 50-50 between YouTube and eBay. And I want to put that back to Nick Hills. I want to know how much he is earning off of YouTube, how much he is earning off of eBay. He doesn't have to give me numbers. I just want to know the percentages. It would be really interesting, that. So we will see. But that'll be on Sunday, 8 o'clock start. It'd be great to have you guys in on that. Drop some messages in the chat. Show a bit of support. I've not done the last live I did with somebody else. It was all right. I got a bit, I'm not ganged up on, but there was 3 of them and it was just me and they were just chatting between themselves. And I just felt like I was sat on the side a little bit. Wasn't particularly well involved. But this one should be a bit better because it's just me and them. But yeah, it'd be great to see you all. Great to see you all in there. And of course, thank you for spending your evening with me tonight. I've got to hop in, pack all this stuff up, get it down the post office tomorrow, and I will catch up with you next live, either Sunday or next Tuesday, if the signal works.